It's Wednesday the 11th. Blue skies are back. We're in Rere Bay, Whangaroa Harbour. That's Lane Cove over there. Well, this is the sort of weather that I requested for my holiday, and has not been fulfilled that often. It's reasonably windy, but the sun's mostly out. Still occasional skiff of very light misty rain. I think it's time for a trip up the river or creek. Track. We actually bought travelling light up here and tied her off here many years ago. The track heading upstream. Oh, the track's fairly wet and muddy, as one would expect, and getting another skiff of rain through. It's a bit dry here, but it's raining. Well, here's the freshwater swimming hole. Normally all these rocks are above water, but of course there's quite a lot of water coming down. You can actually get the dinghy all the way up here, but stretching one's legs and avoiding the chance of hitting any rocks with the prop is a good idea. So despite the fact it's damn cold and windy, I'm still going to go in for a dip. Well, let's call that refreshing. The sun's come back out now. I've got out of the water, although with the branches over the top you don't see a lot. Dock workers are busy with their weed whackers or line trimmers. Coming up to the underwater muddy rocky bit. I've carried on downstream from where the dinghy is, just for an explore. This is the stream from the waterfall. I'm heading back to the dinghy. My transport awaits. Tide's come in, so we'll just see how best to get back aboard. receptionists and her family had use of this batch through family connections. Fairly unloved at the moment. We still have skips of rain coming through. It's just after 7. Beautiful morning, and the forecast suggests a good day to be heading back to the Bay of Islands. So that's what we'll do. But we'll have breakfast first. We're off. There's 2 reefs to watch out for. They have markers and lights on them. And there's the entrance, so we'll be going out of there and the tide will be coming in. There's looking down to Whangaroa Township with the knob of St Paul sticking up. We've got Arrow Rocks, and then way in the distance you can just make out the northern end of Flat Island. Stevenson Island is just appearing. We're in the back eddy, we're about to hit the incoming tide. Right, so we're in the incoming tide now, and the boat's being pushed around a bit. Well, there's not much of a swell, which is really good. Lots of lovely wee caves along here. Last view back into the harbour. Well, there's not a lot of wind. What have we got? About 6 apparent. Broad reach. So I've popped the traveller down. Otherwise the main would just flap around. There's Tauranga Bay. Through the reef of rocks. These are arrow rocks. On the east side of Whangaroa Bay, and the tallest one's called the Frenchman. This is Whangaroa Bay, exposed to any swell from the north, although there is a corner you can tuck into, but very pretty. Mainland on the right, flat island on the left, a small island in the reef between the two, and in the distance the Cavalli Islands. Here's looking back the way we came, and Stevenson Island on the right. Well, swells being lower, it's not near as rough at Flat Island as it was. The only significant swell is a low northeasterly or northerly. Way back in the distance the clouds are still moving reasonably quickly. There's Step Island coming into view, so good chance we can start sailing once we round the end of Flat Island here, as we'll be on a reach, not a dead run. Broad reach, heading for the Cavalli Passage between the Cavalli Islands and the mainland. There's the passage up ahead. There's a big bay in here, unfortunately very exposed to any swell from the east through north. Paya Bay. The boys and I spent a rather uncomfortable night rolling on travelling light many years ago. Up around this corner is Urupukapuka, where I spent New Year's Eve last year, and up there is Urupukapuka and the Cavalli Islands. So that's big Cavalli Island. And then we've got Step Island by the side stays. And then the Cavalli Passage up ahead. We have another well charted rock to watch out for off this point. Come up, we're actually starting to pass them again. Oh, we're almost through the Cavalli Passage. There's Rere Bay. Oh, we're just exiting the Cavalli Passage past this island. We went on the other side of it on the way north. We're doing 8 knots at the moment. Quite a few gusts coming through. I would say we're back in front. I've had to go to close haul with the mainstay out to slow down so I can get the whatever it is on the line on board. Unfortunately it got away. We'll pop it back out. There's trouble with the yacht and you can't instantly stop. So I had to stop the boat to try and get me fish on board. Look who's in front again. There is Lion Rock. Does look a bit like a crouching male lion. And again, but it got off again. Here's Cape Wiwiki, and of course we'll lose the wind. Will become very variable on here. There's Cape Brett and Piercy or Hole in the Rock Island in the distance. That's 9 pin of course. She's a big girl. There's Cape Wiwiki, so we're back in the Bay of Islands. And here's 9 pin with the southern entrance to the Bay of Islands in the distance. Making rapid progress across the Bay of Islands, 7 to 8 knots, and the wind's blowing, I don't know, 15 to 20, gusty as all sou'westers are. Well, our 2 boats have been remarkably evenly paced through all this, so they've sailed very, very well. I, on the other hand, have been quite lazy. Cape Brett is about to disappear behind the Redhead Island. Tourist cat heading presumably back home. A launch passing us. This is Motukiki Island. There's Waiwaitoria Island, Redhead Island on the left, and the beach where we were way back on our second day here. The passageway between Waiwaitoria and Urupukapuka. More boats anchored in the lee of Motukiki. That's called Motukiki Bay. We have Urupukapuka Island to leeward on our left, Poro Island ahead to starboard. Anchored at Sunset Bay, Urupukapuka. Always one to anchor here. Looks like there's one small tent and the rest of them will be day trippers. Bays around the point here. There's the Urupukapuka Island. I've been ashore for a refreshing swim. There are more tents going up, so this group's obviously staying. So this is a small dock camping site. Well, it's now about 5 o'clock. Southwesterly's dying off as it was forecast to do. It's an hour off low tide. Must be time for a second swim. That's pretty much low tide. Water's still just over my head because I've just come out from a swim. Well, looks like we might actually have a sunset for the first time in a long time. The wind has gone to the southeast as forecast, and then it'll go to the east. There's where we came from today.